Hello and welcome back to Up the Villa tactical debrief time. City 2, Aston Villa 1. Villa fans, let me know how you are feeling the day after. Let's get into it. Let's get into it because some of it's not good, guys. Some of it's not good, unfortunately. I'm disappointed. I'm not disappointed because necessarily we lost, because I still believe that this Man City team are, for whatever you look at them, they're still really, really good. They're just having a poor season by their standards. But I'm disappointed the way in which we applied ourselves and the way we played, the way we executed the game plan, I think was not great. And I think you can have different sort of like stipulations, like was the runaways going to, it could do. Oh, we had a big week against PSG, excuses, but I don't think we really do excuses. Like I don't want us to be, I don't want us to be like that anymore. I really want us to be an elite club and win everything and get that mindset, get that mentality, and that's exactly what Emery wants from his team as well. So I think that's the way I'm starting to look at things, that I want to beat everybody that we're playing. And I think we lacked real belief, guys. I think that's something we lacked. So I was there, I was watching it, and I could see both teams shape. I could see how they were pressing us. They were pressing us, but it wasn't with pace. They were pressing us with Bernardo Silva, with Kevin De Bruyne, their whole team were basically central midfielders. Central midfielder at right back, central midfielder at left back at centre half, central midfielders all over the pitch. Not much pace. And it was crying out for us to just be brave. Just be brave. Take your touch. Look up. Turn your man. Drive at your man. But we weren't doing it. We weren't doing it. There were certain scenarios where we got into a position. It was on the left-hand side with Ramsey. And he was running into like players. Nobody around him. But I just felt like we never believed we could get out of there. And that, for me, was the whole game. The whole game, I just felt like we really lacked belief to go on and win the game. And that was the biggest disappointment for me, because we can beat that man. We've beat that Man City team already this season. And with a little bit more belief, we could have got something, or we could have won it. We had opportunities with Rashford, etc. So we're going to get into it then anyway. And we're going to start off with, we're going to kick it off with the number one thing in this game. And this was the reason why we lost this game. And this is the reason why we lost this game right here. And it happened again. And it is something that is a problem, especially on the right-hand side. Left-hand side is not a problem, because the left-hand side, the combination you've got here with Digne and Ramsey is defensively very, very good. And that is why Emery plays Ramsey on that left-hand side, because Ramsey will always do that defensive work. He will always cover Luka Dean. The problem we had for the first goal is Matty Cash is left isolated 1v1. Now, what generally happens when you're playing against teams like Man City is, if I show you on the tactical pad what you kind of do allow, and you will allow this because what generally happens is it means that you are comfortable defending the middle of the pitch. So the width of the 18-yard box when you're coming up against a team that are exceptionally good, if you can defend the width of the 18-yard box and be compact, you're limiting space in behind, you're limiting space in between the lines, and you are allowing a player out wide to start off out wide, but they're no problem out wide at times, right? You can allow that to happen. But what you've got to happen is when that player gets the ball and you go out to him, you have to have another player that is there to cover you as well. You cannot allow a player 1v1, right? You cannot allow 1v1 against this Man City team. Against any team, it cannot be 1v1 because the wingers are exceptional. So you are probably going to get beat. The cross is going to go in. So for me, the big problem we had for the first goal is that Morgan Rogers is not in a defensive position to help out Matty Cash, and the ball goes in the box. And, you know, Rogers doesn't really get there. It gets a little flick off Konsa. It then falls to Bernardo Silva and Martinez. Saves it, pushes it onto his leg, and then it goes in the back of the net. Martinez. He's chucked a load in this season, hasn't he? Champions League, he's been exceptional, but Premier League is by his standards, and he will admit this himself, he's had a bit of a stinker. There's a lot that are going through him. And yeah, Bernardo, he's had a run. He's been able to get that shot off with power. We could have dealt with it better, but you would expect him to save this. You would expect him to save it. Anyway, we'll move on. We'll move on to the goal that lost it for us. And again, there is a catalogue of errors. First person that is getting a lot of stick is Disasi. Rightly so. Yeah, okay, a bit. Yeah, okay, I can see it a bit, but we cannot just blame Disasi for this, right? I'll tell you why. Number one, right? Where's his support? Where just like the first one, the ball's gone out wide. If Marlon is in here, this goal doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. Right? So wide right player needs to be in here helping and shutting down Doku on this ball. Because we've already seen that when Jacob Ramsey and Digne are on that opposite side, they're together. But this side, we have left Doku 1v1 with Disasi. It can't happen. It cannot happen 1v1 with a fullback and a winger. Non-negotiables. Somebody needs to be in there. Again, he dives in, which isn't good. Because Doku, he takes a bad touch and then he goes. And in that process, Disasi's dived in a little bit. And that's a big issue that he's done. Just stand him up. Maybe if you stand him up, we can get someone to come in here a little bit anyway. But I think what you've got to ask yourself when you're looking at this, 1v1, Doku or a fullback, who's coming out on top? I'm saying Doku. So that's what happens. But it doesn't end there, guys. It doesn't end there. Because look here at Nunes. And look here at John McGinn. Our back four, Disasi, Konsa, Pau, Digne, John McGinn. Note John McGinn, right? So the ball now has gone past Disasi. We've got John McGinn and we've got Nunes, back post. So that's where we skipped past him. Here, we've got the cross. So we've got Consa's come across. Pau and Martinez should deal with this. Why is one of them not coming and claiming it? One booting it out the way. So we've got that partnership there that we saw against PSG, where both of them, are we not talking? Are we not communicating? And then the back post. Like, honestly, I've seen Disasi online get absolutely hammered for this. Absolutely hammered. But this is just as bad. At the back post, where's McGinn? What are we doing? You've allowed 2 players free at the back post. That ball has travelled. Don't forget, guys, the ball has travelled from here. So from here to when it goes in the back of the net there, that is quite a big distance. And once it's got to that byline, we're talking a decent amount of time here. But how on earth have we got into a position where we've got nobody at the back post marking 2 players? It's absolutely shocking. How can this happen in the 93rd minute of a game? It's so naive to think that we don't have to do our jobs. Where's the intensity gone? The intensity is completely evaporated. Because structurally, this goal is so avoidable. Jockey, get back into position, clear the cross, make sure we're marking at the back post. When I saw this back after being at that game, I was absolutely fuming. Just not good, guys. Inexcusable defending. You've worked so hard to get a point at the Etihad and you've just chucked it all away because of rash defending. So annoying. Like, it is really annoying because it's just basic defending. It's not even, we've not even been undone by like a worldy goal. Like, even the PSG third at their place, you look at it and go, oh, great pass, great touch, great roll, great finish. This, it's like, oh, not good, man. Not good at all. We did have bright moments, didn't we? We had Rashford with chances. We had opportunities there. Passing network was good from Villa. You know, it was decent. It was Kamara had a lot of the ball. They really stopped Tielemans from playing. We have to have a look at some of the underlying numbers. Luka Dean had a poor game by his numbers. Some of his numbers were really low. If we have a look here now, we can see, where are we? Digne. Right, so he had 74% passing accuracy. He won 5 of 10 duels. Pau 91%. Asensio 100. Marlon 100. Rogers 100. 4 out of 10 duels. Ramsey 93%. 4 out of 6. Martinez 60% kicking. Kamara 87. Rashford 86. Cash 91. Watkins 75. So, Onana 78. What I will say is I actually feel like the Villa substitutions made us worse. That's my opinion on the subs. I think when Onana went off, I think we just lost that bit of like steel in there. I think you look at Onana's heat map and he was He was just at the base. He was at the base. He was combative. He was clearing, heading. Onana the same. Luke Dean got forward. Cash sat in a bit. Rodgers, Ramsey, Tielemans. So I actually like the combo of Onana, Kamara with Tielemans in there, dropping into a midfield. But this Rodgers we've got to get the ball to him more. There were so many times when I was just watching it, and this was happening all the time. There was this situation right here. Like we'd retrieved the ball, we got the ball, and Rodgers was up against Nico O'Reilly. And I'm just thinking, just pop it in there, just long ball it, launch it in behind O'Reilly, and let Rodgers run onto it and muscle him, or just play it to like that was key for me to get Rodgers up against O'Reilly 1v1, but we didn't do it enough. I think sometimes you can play long ball, but play it into a bit of a channel, play it into a channel and just hit it in there. And we didn't do that enough, I don't think. And that's the thing with Rodgers on the right. The problem we've got with Rodgers on the right, let me try and show you on my I'll show you, because I think it is important to look at this, right? So we've got striker, we'll have Tielemans, you've got midfield 2, we've got Ramsey, we've got Luka Dean, blah blah blah. Right, here we go. Right, so for me, this is a bit of a problem, really, because, and I think this is why I think we weren't as great. So if we have a look now, then, right, so basically what we're asking is, there's your double pivot here. Tielemans will drop into a midfield and make that 3. I really like that. I think it enables us when we're going against heavily congested midfields. It allows us to win the battle even more, because we've got 3 outright very, very good central midfielders. Luke Dig goes forward. We're solid here. But this right-hand side here is a massive problem, because Rodgers has to come inside. That's his game, isn't it? That's where he's strong. But then we just leave a massive gap on the right. Cash, he will go up and down, but some games he's expected to, some games he's not. But we've just got a real imbalance on that right-hand side. And it's just a bit of an issue for me. The distance that he has to travel. And there's times when he's just not in the game. Like, he's not getting enough touches. For me, Rodgers, he's one of our best attackers. Like, I absolutely love him, but he has to be involved more. If we're going through games and he's not, and I'm coming away from a game going, Rodgers needed to touch the ball more. He needed to have the ball more. That can't happen. It's like saying, it's like if you're PSG and you're going, we needed to get the ball more to Barcola or Kvaratskhelia. It don't happen. They always get the ball. So the system has got to find a way of getting Rodgers with that ball more, because he was the one that could have bullied that Man City team. And he didn't, because he didn't touch the ball enough. He didn't get enough touches for me. He had 28 touches. He had 100% passing accuracy. So when he did get the ball, he kept it. So he's got to get the ball more. He's really got to get the ball more. So we weren't narrow as a front 4 as well. You can see that. We were quite narrow. It's that Christmas tree again. But yeah, I think the beauty of where we are is that I'm annoyed that we didn't win the game. We didn't get any points. Where do I feel like this leaves Champions League then? I think at the end of the day, whether we won against Man City or not, we were going to have to go unbeaten to the rest of the season. I think if we win our last 4, then we've got an opportunity with some of the teams playing each other, etc. Like, some teams have got to play each other, and it's not over. We've just got to. Hopefully, it goes to the last day, and we've got to just go unbeaten there to the rest of the season. But it is what it is. We've got to dust ourselves down. We've got to go again at Wembley now for a huge game and try and get to the final. You know, we've got to try and recover now, get confidence, and hit Wembley hard and get to the final. So important that we do that. So, bit of a mini debrief for me today. I'd love to know your thoughts. How are you feeling about the weekend now as well? So, yeah, I'm frustrated with the goals that we conceded. I'm frustrated that we didn't get any points, but it shows how far we have come, I guess. But you know, it's just not the defending's not good. It's massively highlighting to me some of the areas in this team that we need to recruit as well. That right hand side needs a facelift. It needs a facelift because goals come down it. You know, both goals came down that one side. So that pretty much tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it, really? That we're being targeted time and time again down that right-hand side. So it's got to improve for next year, 100%. So right, next up, we're going to have match preview, predicted lineup for our trip to Wembley. So, yeah, I think where I'm at is I'm okay with losing, but I expect better from this Villa team. So, yeah, that's basically it, really. Up the Villa!